Salute, fight fans. Welcome back, everybody, to Talk Nation. We about to get it in. Got another good fight coming up, and another good fight to talk about. Errol Spence, Danny Swift Garcia. Shout out to Philly, birthplace of the Constitution, birthplace of freedom. The reason why President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris is going to be in the office. Salute to Philly. But check it out. Errol Spence Jr., as a lot of people may know, he was involved in a very serious car accident that possibly could have took his life. But by the grace of God, he's still here. If you look at that video, some may wonder why he is still here. He is still here because he has a purpose. And I believe a part of that purpose is to fight. Now, he's going to get his chance with Danny Swift Garcia. Errol Spence, on some people's list, is possibly one of the best fighters in the world. Some people may have him at the top. But the welterweight division, as I said, go back and watch the other videos. Matter of fact, while you at it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also subscribe to Talk Nation TV. But Errol Spence Jr. is one of the best welterweights in the world. You can't be the best welterweight in the world until you fight and beat Terrence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao. Those two names are the top tier names in the division. Then you have your Sean Porters of the world, and he is presently training to fight Danny Swift Garcia, which is another premier name, not only in boxing, but also the welterweight division. Errol Spence, some may say he's basic, but basic gets it done. You have to have a good set of basic tools in boxing. Now, Errol Spence is a southpaw, does a lot of things right. Some people say he does some things wrong. Errol Spence also possesses great power. He's one of the bigger welterweights in the game, as is Danny Swift Garcia. Errol Spence goes to the body very well. Has a good, solid sticking jab. Has a nice left hand. Now, in this fight against Danny Swift Garcia, which has an ironclad chin, Danny can take a shot. So if Danny can take Errol Spence's power, Errol Spence is in for a long night, because I don't think that Danny is going to go down like Sean Porter went down. Although a lot of people talk about it in that fight, truth of the matter is, Sean Porter fought a good fight. And the simple fact where he messed up was he came in low, and the shot that he tried to throw, which was his left hand, I don't know what kind of shot was he trying to throw, because he was low and he was getting ready to initiate the shot. And that's one of the shots that Errol Spence throws. He throws that inside short left hook. He caught Leonard Bundu with I believe that was a right hook that he caught Bundu and knocked Bundu out with on the ropes. So it's pretty safe to say that Errol Spence, he throws those short left hooks on the inside, left and right. So you can't just prepare yourself for the left or the right, because he throws both shots. And he has hurt and dropped people with both shots, the left and right hand. So in this fight, Errol Spence definitely needs to utilize the jab, but I wouldn't go for the knockout. I would box Danny Garcia. That's me, because Danny has a chin. So going in there trying to headhunt and knock Danny out, that's a bad play. Danny has excellent timing, and he can possibly catch Errol Spence. Danny has more power than Sean Porter. So if Danny catches him, Danny can hurt him. Danny can definitely hurt him with that left hook. But matter of fact, Danny Garcia, again, shout out to Philly. Danny Swift Garcia is a very talented fighter. But like Errol Spence, a lot of people say he's basic. But like I said, basic gets it done. Their styles are similar. Only thing really that differs is their stance. Errol Spence is a southpaw, Danny Garcia is orthodox, but their footwork is generally kind of the same. They're both not heavily active on their feet, but can explode if need be, especially closing the gap to try to finish off opponent once they hurt him. Errol Spence is definitely good in that department. Once he gets you hurt, he's close. He's homing in like a missile, and he's trying to come in and finish you. Danny Garcia is the same way, but Danny Garcia is also a little bit more methodical, and Danny Garcia's timing is some of the best in boxing, let alone the division. A lot of people say he throws that no-look left hook, but guess what? If it lands, it's a part of your arsenal. If it lands, it's something that you have to watch out for. Now, Errol Spence, he may walk into that shot, and I'm going to tell you why. Because when he throws that shot, Danny Garcia, that's not a shot that he sets up. That's generally a shot that he lets off when somebody else is throwing a shot. That's why they call it a counterpunch. And the fact that he does it on a no-look type situation, like he's playing basketball, giving somebody the no-look pass, it's hard to calculate the angle that he's going to throw that shot, because he can throw it in front of you, he can throw it off stepping to the side. You know what I mean? So that makes that shot dangerous. But Danny Garcia also goes to the body, just like Errol Spence. So his power is to be respected. So if Errol Spence thinks he's going to come in and just basically steamroll Danny Garcia, I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think that's going to happen. I think, especially early in the fight, it's going to be a boxing match. Later on in the rounds, maybe the second half of the fight, both guys may begin to let their hands go. But I believe the first few rounds, first 3 to 4 rounds, are definitely going to be a feeling out process. But don't get it twisted. Some shots will be thrown. Some shots will land. Now, I'm truly interested to see who's going to be the one that could take the better punch. Is it Errol Spence? Is it Danny Garcia? You go back and look at the Shawn Porter fight. Errol Spence took some shots in that fight. And if Shawn Porter didn't get caught with that shot, because he didn't get knocked down, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people think he got knocked. He didn't get knocked down. He got knocked off balance. So he didn't knock Shawn Porter down in that fight. That's number one. And number two, the shots that Errol Spence took from Shawn Porter in that fight, he won't be able to take those same shots from Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia hits way harder than Shawn Porter. So if he catches Errol Spence with some of those shots that Shawn Porter caught Errol Spence with, he's going to be in trouble. He's really going to be in trouble. Now, you can train to offset timing, but the thing about that is that's generally done under the precipice of speed. Now, Errol Spence is quick, but he's not like Manny Pacquiao fast. So his timing really is going to be, he really has to mix in his quickness, but also his angles in order to offset Danny Garcia's timing with his shots. And he has to go to the body, go low, high, high, low. And also, that's the same recipe for Danny Swift Garcia. He has to do the same thing. That's what makes, to me, this fight really interesting, because the game plan for both fighters generally are going to mirror each other. Now, their footwork, I really want to see who's going to have the better footwork, because both guys are generally flat-footed. They don't do a lot of bouncing and moving in the ring. I mean, they reset their stance like every boxer does. If you don't know what that is, fight fans, I can't show you at this angle, but that's generally when you fighting a fighter is in their stance, you're doing your thing, boop, 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 and then look like they're skipping to one side, and then they come back and get back in their stance. That's like resetting. Now, but depending upon what your stance is, when you reset, you're going to be going at different angles. If you're a southpaw, you're going one way. If you're orthodox, you're going the other way. So that's truly what I want to see. But as far as stand up, from the waist up, their styles, like I said, are generally similar. But I will say, Danny Garcia, in recent fights, he has developed his right hand more. Before, he used to rely on that left hook, that left hand being the one-hitter quitter, one-stop shop. But now he has begun to develop his right hand more. And that's going to be dangerous for Errol Spence, because when somebody possesses power in both hands, like both fighters do, you have to be careful. You can't just always boop, 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 try to offset to the weak side. No, because if somebody has power in both hands, you have to watch every movement. You have to be careful on every angle. And Errol Spence already fights in the high guard. Danny Swift Garcia, he does, you know what I mean? Sometimes he goes high guard, sometimes he drops his right hand a little bit. But in this fight, both fighters are not only going to have to be careful, but both fighters are going to have to be active as far as mobility, because I really don't see them standing in front of each other and banging it out. That's not their style. And I will be surprised, not only as a fight fan, but also analysts, if they stand in front of each other and bang it out and go to war. I think if that happens, that will happen in a later part of the fight, depending upon who is leading and losing on the cards. When all else fails, game plan goes out the window, and it's time to bang it out, we're about to see what's going down. So, in this fight, Errol Spence, can he beat Danny Garcia? Absolutely. In this fight, can Danny Swift Garcia beat Errol Spence? Absolutely. And if you think that Danny cannot beat Errol Spence, not only you are not giving Danny enough credit, but you don't know your boxing. Because if you look at the losses that Danny had, and it ain't many, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Danny was not only in those fights, but he could have won those fights. Sometimes one shot can be the difference of you getting a nod in the fight or on the cards in the eyes of the judges. Prime example, Sean Porter and Errol Spence. Sean Porter was doing very well in that fight. But once he got caught with that shot, as soon as he got caught with that shot, I said that's the fight for Errol Spence, because the margins was close. But now that he got caught with that definitive shot, that's what's going to go from everything being neck and neck to here. And sometimes that's all you need. To phrase Vin Diesel and Fast and Furious, it doesn't matter if it's an inch or a mile, a win is a win. You know what I'm saying? So even if you're neck and neck and you just happen to just ease past your opponent across the finish line, look, whoever's ahead, that's the winner. And that punch and that shot made Errol Spence the lead in that fight, and he got the victory. So in this fight with Danny Garcia, don't be surprised. Danny can catch him with a shot like that. Errol can catch Danny with a shot like that. That's what makes this fight interesting. And Danny also is an ex-champion. Errol Spence is a champion. So these are two fighters that have championship pedigree. You cannot sit up here and assume and think that these guys are, no. These are two top tier welterweights in the division. This fight is going to be a very good fight. But a lot of people are wondering, including myself, what is going on with Errol Spence mentally. Is he back mentally from that accident? He did an interview with Brian Custard, a couple other people, and they spoke about that. A lot of people think that that's hanging over his head, and he says that it's not. I'm fine. The accident happened. It is what it is. I'm blessed to walk away from it, but That's pretty much it. It is not going to have effect on my boxing career, more or less this fight. I'm curious to see that, because if it's one thing that I know, you can say what you want to say for the cameras, because okay, you look at Teofimo Lopez and you look at Lomachenko. As soon as Lomachenko got beat by Teofimo, guess what? Lomachenko came out and said, I was injured in that fight. My arm was hurt. Then Teofimo comes out with a similar rebuttal and says, I was also hurt. I hurt my foot. I hurt this. I hurt that. Both guys went, had surgery. So you see what I'm saying? So coming into this fight, Errol Spence does have some emotional baggage, but will it make a difference? We'll see after the fight. Now, if he says it, there you go. But if he doesn't, just look at and grade his performance in that fight. Now, the two have been real low key as far as training. You're not seeing a whole bunch of training videos being promoted, which I love. That means that both guys are in the lab working hard. You know, Danny Swift Garcia is representing, he's in North Philly training by his father, none other than Crazy Angel. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Angel Garcia, man, one of the real old heads in the game, let alone Philly. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence being trained by Derek James, one of the best trainers in the gym. You know what I'm saying? He also trains the Charlo brothers, who are also champions. So Derek James has a championship stable. He's a championship caliber coach. So is Angel Garcia, because when Danny won those titles, guess who was by his side? His father, Angel. So you two different similar styles, but both guys, as far as trainers that is, they do and have shown that they can win on the highest level in boxing. And that's all that's important. So this is going to be a very, very good fight moving forward, fight fans. I hope everybody is waiting for this fight. So just pay attention, because it's going to be a good one. And as closer the fight gets, I'm going to let you guys know what's going on. So check it out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Watch these videos from bumper to bumper. Whatever you do, stay focused, stay humble, stay motivated. Guard up with your mask at all times, because remember, man, there's a war going on outside. And ain't nobody safe from it. It's your boy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, check out the second channel, Talk Nation TV, baby. Salute. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Real talk.